Cause 1. Taxation laws passed by the British Parliament that were intended to raise revenues for war debts and colonial defense caused outrage among American colonies. The colonists protested these laws, but were ignored. They argued that they had no representation in the Parliament and that the taxes were aimed at them and were unfair. These protests caused them to organize boycotts and resistance groups like the Sons of Liberty.
I just sold 800 guitars! I'm the richest man in the world! Oh, I hate taxes!
Cause 2. Boston Massacre. Shopkeepers in Boston were refusing to pay taxes imposed under the Stamp Act in 1765 and the Townshend Acts, and so the British sent troops to restore order. Protests arose and culminated in the killing of a young boy, which led to a riot where 3 people were killed and 8 others wounded, 2 of them whom later died. The Boston Massacre had a major impact on relations between Britain and American colonists.
What is going on?
Taxes! No!
Cause 3. The Boston Tea Party. The Boston Tea Party was a political protest on December 16, 1773, in Boston, Massachusetts. The reason this event occurred was because in the 1760s, Britain was in terrible debt. So the Britain Parliament taxed the American colonists, as well as the Stamp Act, which they taxed a bunch of paper, and the Townshend Act, which they taxed things like paint, glass, and tea, which ultimately led to the Boston Massacre and the Sons of Liberty to protest these actions. Many members of the Sons of Liberty disguised themselves as Native Americans and boarded the docked ships containing tea and tossed 342 chests of tea overboard.
Dude, these taxes are off the rip, yo. Taxes, am I right?
You nailed my camera.
3 very important documents in the American Revolution were the Declaration of Independence, the U.S. Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. These documents included very new philosophical ideas, such as their emphasis on individual rights and the idea that the government's power comes from the consent of its people. Although stating, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, everybody other than landowning white men didn't actually have these individual rights.
So, first we have the Declaration of Independence. It is a declaration primarily written by Thomas Jefferson, stating that the 13 colonies had decided to break away from Great Britain. It includes the colonies' reasons such as individual rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It then states that the main role of government is to protect these individual rights. Furthermore, if a government tries to withhold these rights, the people have the right to revolt and create a new government. In addition, the Declaration argues that King George III had no real power over the colonies, and because the colonies had no representation in Parliament, they could make their own laws and defend themselves. Secondly, the Constitution. After the Articles of Confederation were voted to be removed by delegates of the states, they write a new Constitution. This Constitution begins with a preamble followed by 7 articles, each addressing a different topic of the Constitution. Article 1, the legislation branch. Article 2, the executive branch. Article 3, the judicial branch. Article 4, states' relations. Article 5, the amendment process. Article 6, federal power. Article 7, ratification. And in addition to the Constitution, it includes the Bill of Rights. So, in an effort to get the newly written Constitution signed by anti-federalists, James Madison wrote 10 amendments that served as individual rights for the people. These amendments helped to give more power to the people, further protecting their rights from the government.